God's blueprint for wealth is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but a comprehensive guide for living a life of financial stewardship that honors Him. A biblical budget is more than just a financial plan. It's a reflection of how we manage the resources God has entrusted to us. The Bible offers timeless wisdom on managing money and possessions, teaching us to prioritize His kingdom, exercise discipline, and live generously. By setting up a biblical budget, we align ourselves with God's principles, making sure that our financial decisions honor Him and bless those around us. At the heart of God's blueprint for wealth is the understanding that everything we have belongs to Him. Psalm 24 verse 1 declares, "The earth is the Lord's, and everything in it, the world and all who live in it." This truth shapes our perspective on money. It changes the way we think about our paychecks, investments, and possessions. Instead of viewing ourselves as owners of our resources, we see ourselves as stewards, managers of what God has entrusted to us. This mindset shift is crucial when it comes to creating a biblical budget. We must approach our finances with the understanding that our money is meant to serve God's purposes and not just our own desires. The Bible provides us with several guiding principles that help us create a budget that reflects godly values. One of the first principles is the importance of living within our means. Proverbs 21 verse 20 tells us, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down." This verse emphasizes the wisdom of saving and budgeting carefully. Living within our means involves spending less than we earn and being intentional about how we allocate our financial resources. A biblical budget helps us avoid the temptation of overspending or accumulating debt, which can lead to stress and financial hardship. Instead, it encourages us to be disciplined, make wise choices, and prioritize needs over wants. Another key principle in God's blueprint for wealth is the importance of paying off debt. Proverbs 22 verse 7 warns, "The borrower is slave to the lender." Debt can easily become a burden, limiting our freedom and ability to serve God fully. When we create a budget, it's important to include a plan for paying off any outstanding debts. This may mean making sacrifices in the short term, cutting unnecessary expenses, or choosing to live below our means, but it ultimately leads to financial freedom. The Bible encourages us to be debt-free, not only because it allows us to live with greater peace and freedom, but also because it enables us to use our resources to bless others and advance God's kingdom. One of the most important aspects of a biblical budget is generosity. In 2 Corinthians 9 verses 6 to 7, the Apostle Paul teaches, "Remember this, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver." A biblical budget incorporates regular giving to support God's work and help those in need. Generosity is not just about giving when we feel comfortable, but about making giving a priority in our financial planning. When we give generously, we align ourselves with God's heart and experience the blessings of sowing into His kingdom. A key component of a biblical budget is also the concept of saving. Proverbs 6 verses 6 to 8 provides a powerful example from nature. "Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest." The ant's wisdom in storing up for the future is a reminder that we too must plan ahead. A biblical budget encourages us to save for emergencies, future needs, and long-term goals. This doesn't mean hoarding wealth, but rather preparing responsibly for the future, so that we are not caught off guard by unexpected expenses or difficult circumstances. The Bible also teaches that contentment is essential for financial peace. In 1 Timothy 6 verses 6 to 8, Paul writes, "But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. But if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that." Contentment is the antidote to materialism and the desire for more and more. A biblical budget reflects contentment by helping us prioritize what is truly important, such as our relationship with God, our family, and our community, rather than chasing after the fleeting pleasures of material wealth. It encourages us to be grateful for what we have and to avoid the trap of constantly seeking more. When setting up a biblical budget, It's important to follow a step-by-step process that incorporates these biblical principles. First, start by acknowledging that your money belongs to God and ask Him to guide you in managing it wisely. Pray over your budget and seek His wisdom in every decision. This sets the tone for a budget that is aligned with His will and purposes. Next, gather all of your financial information. This includes income, debts, expenses, savings, and investments. Take an honest look at your current financial situation and assess where you stand. Be honest with yourself about where your money is going and whether it aligns with your values. Are you overspending? Are you saving enough? Are you giving generously? This is the point where you take inventory of your finances and create a baseline from which you can improve. After taking inventory, categorize your spending. Divide your expenses into needs and wants. Needs are essential, such as housing, utilities, groceries, and transportation. Wants are non-essential, such as dining out, entertainment, or luxury items. A biblical budget focuses on meeting your needs first and trimming unnecessary wants. It helps you focus on what truly matters and eliminates spending that could lead to financial strain. Once you've categorized your expenses, allocate a portion of your income to each category. Be sure to set aside a portion for savings and giving. The Bible encourages us to save and give before spending on other things. For instance, consider following the principle of tithing by setting aside 10% of your income for God's work. As you develop your budget, keep in mind that it's important to remain flexible and adjust as necessary. Life circumstances change, and sometimes unexpected expenses arise. Your budget should be a living document that you can adapt as needed. In addition to tithing, a biblical budget also includes saving for the future. Build an emergency fund to cover unexpected expenses, set aside money for retirement, and plan for major life events such as buying a home or paying for your children's education. The Bible teaches that it is wise to plan for the future, and saving is a key part of that wisdom. Remember, saving is not about hoarding wealth, but about being responsible and stewarding God's blessings wisely. As you work through the budget process, make sure to regularly review and adjust it. Regularly checking your progress will help you stay on track and ensure that your spending aligns with your values and goals. Remember, a biblical budget is not about legalism or guilt. It's about living in a way that honors God and reflects His generosity, wisdom, and faithfulness. Lastly, be patient and trust God. Financial success doesn't happen overnight. But by applying biblical principles, living within your means, giving generously, saving wisely, and being content with what you have, you can experience financial peace and prosperity in a way that aligns with God's will for your life. God's blueprint for wealth is about more than just numbers. It's about honoring God with every area of our lives, including our finances. A biblical budget is an opportunity to exercise discipline, trust God, and steward His resources in a way that glorifies Him and blesses others. By setting up a biblical budget, we set ourselves on the path to financial freedom, peace, and true prosperity.